Two, on editing, enhancing the skin, we're actually going to blur the skin. So first of all, this layer here was my blemishes layer, so I'm just going to leave that layer in case I make a mistake and I need to duplicate that. So always have a duplicate layer. Then I'm going to go up the top of your screen to filter, blur, and I'm just going to choose Gaussian blur because it's the quickest. You can try all the other ones if you like, up to you. I'm going to blur my skin. I want to make sure that all of these areas are the same color. So I'm going to really blur it. And then I'm going to click OK. And I have a blurry image. I now need to add a mask, which is down the bottom here, but I want it to cover up my blur. So I'm going to hold Alt or Option on the keyboard and click Add Layer Mask. So that will bring back my original image. So what that does is the black has covered up the blurred photo, and underneath is the original photo. So that's why it's showing through. I'm now going to go between the brush tool, which is this one, and the eraser tool, and I have my options set to white and black. My brush is quite big at the moment, so you can change the size up here, or you can use the square bracket tools on your keyboard. At 100% opacity, if I click on the paintbrush, I'm painting in that blur. I don't want that. I want to do this a little bit at a time so it's natural. So I'm going to change the opacity down to, I don't know, anywhere between 20 and 40%. So I might do 40% to start with, which is quite a lot, and do the major areas. Avoid shadows, avoid like hair, lip lines, change the size of your brush, zoom right in, just do the major areas to start with. So Command plus will allow you to zoom in. Okay, so I can go into there. The more I click, the more it's going to do. Now, if I go too much, that is fine because I can actually go back and erase that afterwards. So I went over my lip a little bit. I'm going to then erase that by going to the eraser. I've still got it set to 40% so it's see-through a little bit. Use my closed bracket tools. And I'm going to erase over my lips, and that'll bring it back. So what you can see happening over here is a bit of a shadow of a face. The white areas is bringing through the blurred skin. So if it's on 50%, it's only blurring the skin 50%. So go through, and remember if you go through shadows, just undo that again. Do the major areas to start with, and then you could go back, change your opacity down again to maybe 10%, maybe 14%, and then you can just go over the areas that are quite okay, but you just want to blend it in a bit more. So just play around with your opacity. Remember to avoid shadows. Go over chest areas as well. You can do this on a male skin, but most of the time it's mainly females that want this done. Once I've done that, have a look at before and after. So you can see that it's now, I look like a magazine person. If I want to get rid of the shininess over my eyebrows, I can brush over that area as well. And that blur will remove the shininess. Over here, my opacity, I'm just going to move this over so you can see. I can then take that down to 0, which is the original image, and I can bring it through until I feel like it looks realistic, but improved. And that is how you do the Hollywood skin. Thanks for listening.